Jaden saw what happened as an accident, since Clayton didn't die. Since she still obtained the company and only tragedy happened with the rat and cat, they were completely scrapped and the whole idea of performers at a theater was pitched. Instead, she decided to completely rebrand the company and go strictly on an animatronic entertainment route. After a couple of strings being pulled, in 1980, she was able to get a much bigger and better location. She had created two new characters to star in this restaurant. Candy was changed. His character was remade blue, taller, and more approachable to children. His second character was Blank, and the animatronic that can be drawn on and swapped out with paper sheets that slide on his body. She always loved drawing, so this character was very special to her. In the months leading up to the opening, the rat and cat animatronics were transported separately. Cat went back to the factory he was made in, and the rat was transported to the new restaurant for budget reasons. Richard was saddened that he was separated from his best friend, which made him even more corrupt and angry. But he couldn't do anything about it. Mary had got away, and he was trapped within this new restaurant. As oversight that happened with the AI was put into the new robots, the AI was increasingly upgrading itself to the point where the new robots actually developed sentience. They were aware, they had feelings, personalities, all of that, just like a human. This new life was an amazing blessing, thought Candy and Blank. And so, the time came in June of 1980, and the Candy's Burgers and Fries had its grand opening, and it was an instant success, being both quality food and fun at a cheap price. Candy and Blank lived their glory days singing, playing, hanging for the next 7 years. In January of 1987, a birthday party would be hosted for a child named Blake Thompson, who loved candies with a passion. However, this birthday wasn't going his way. He was bullied for being too old to like it and just wasn't having a good time. He ran away into the ticket booth crying and sad that his birthday was pretty much ruined. Candy would find this child, however, and not long after, able to cheer him up with his good old Candy's charm. Blake ran off and Candy followed suit, but then saw his much older brother, Connor Thompson, scolding him and getting frustrated at running away like that. How could he be so careless in a stupid restaurant like this? Blake was crying, upset that his own brother would yell at him like this. Candy, in his code, wouldn't allow anyone to be punished on the property and scanned Connor as a criminal. And so, just following his programming, he attacked him, mauling him to death. Blake tried to stop Candy, but Candy scratched him back and Blake bled to death. Panic ensued and Jaden flipped a switch that deactivated the animatronics, and they were almost deactivated immediately. 911 was called, but there was nothing they could do other than to take the bodies when they got there. Candy's was put on lockdown for investigation and found that faulty wiring was at play and closed the following week. However, the souls of the brothers who died would find themselves possessing the robots that took their lives away, finding new life inside the animatronics. Blake possessed Blank, and Connor possessed Candy. It's here where I want to explain how possession works in this alternate universe. So, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I know it can be a little bit confusing at times. So we have the base animatronic, which has its own personality and traits. However, a child or adult possessing an animatronic can take control of the body and turn into that animatronic. Their eyes would turn gray, letting one know that they were possessed by that soul. And of course, when the spirit is angry or hunting, their eyes turn to black. You got it? Good. Simple explanation. Let's continue. Jaden felt responsible, that she couldn't prevent a tragedy from happening. But this was Charles and Richard's dream. She couldn't stop now, not after all she's made. So, following the footsteps of them, she mustered on, looking forward and not backwards. The original animatronics would not be used again, as it would continue to put a bad image on Candy's and its brand. They would need to be shipped back to the factory and used for parts of the new animatronics ordered. After the necessary parts were taken, they were placed in their rightful spots, Blank in his drawing room and Old Candy in the parts room. After this, Candy's would get a whole new makeover, with all new entertainment, building design, and of course, a cast of characters. During the summer of 1987, a whole slew of events would happen. The first thing to happen would be the death of Nathan Richards. Being in jail for so long and the thought of his life was over was enough to make the man pass away in jail. However, his tortured and angry soul would continue to breathe new life. This soul wouldn't go to possess anything, but manifest itself as Vinny, the very puppet he had all those years ago. All those years ago, Rat and Cat Theater. Now free from his physical form and terribly, terribly angry, he vowed that he would receive his peace once Mary was dead. The new cast of characters would be commissioned and built during this time as well, these being Candy the Cat, Cindy the Cat, Chester the Chimp, and 3 penguin serving bots. Things seemed to go to plan, but as it always seems with Candy's, tragedy sadly struck. See, Vinny needed something else to kill Mary, since he was only an apparition, not real. He would need something physical to kill her. Luckily, his old pal Candy and Co. would be a great choice. Not only that, but a group of 4 kids would often play around the factory at night. This plan was set. Vinny went and possessed the decommissioned cat animatronic and lured the children to him. First was the twins Tim and Tina. He managed to snatch Tim first, crushing his hand and pushing him into the welding machine, mangling him to death. Tina found the carnage and broke down. He managed to snatch her as well and befall the same fate. He would wander outside where Chloe was playing. She was an easy target, and went and disemboweled her. Last was Jamal, who wanted to get out. Unfortunately for him, he would receive death, just like the others, being thrown into the trash compactor. Vinny then depossessed the animatronic, just as the animatronics were finished. He then gave life to the animatronics with the souls he now had. Tim possessed Candy, Tina possessed Cindy, Jamal possessed Chester, and Chloe possessed the female penguin. The time was right, and the next day the animatronics would be shipped to the new Candy's Burgers and Fries. Opening day was in November, just as Freddy was closing its doors. It was time for Vinny to make his move. And that was part 3 of the FNACITY AU Story Explained. Chapters, what was it? 6 through 8, wow. So we are nearly halfway there, guys. Yes, we're already halfway done with the series. So the next part will be focusing on the rest of Candy's Burgers and Fries, and then the part after that will be focusing around FNAC 2, and then of course after that, the last part of the timeline, Containment Breach. Can't wait to continue on to the series. I hope you guys enjoy it, and please, have a good day!